morning to you.
Good morning. Morning to you both.
Morning.
So this is an allegation of criminal cyber harassment. Is it a criminal offence to talk openly on social media or on TV or radio about this person's gender when this person was banned by a major international boxing body last year from taking part in female boxing because they decided she was more male than female? How does that make it criminal?
Effectively, what's happened here is that lawyers acting for the boxer have filed a criminal complaint in front of the Paris prosecutor's office to, at the start, unnamed persons, but that gives them a wide ability to research other people and include them. But they specifically named people like J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk in that complaint. So it's as you said, it's for aggravated cyber harassment, and they specifically stated in there racism and sexism, according to her lawyer. So in France, if you can obviously make out that as an alleged offence, it is a criminal offence. Now, of course, this gets complexity when you look at the location of where J.K. Rowling was, presumably not in France at the time, and Elon Musk. So does the Paris court, if they proceed with this, the Paris prosecutor, have the reach jurisdictionally to come to other countries? And if that is the case, that then is a very concerning development, because you can have countries around the world basically policing social media in other countries. So it could be a very, very significant case, both in free speech, the use of social media, but also in gender politics, essentially, and what is and what isn't a man and a woman.
So that will also test this. This case will test whether what you say in one country on social media can then be applied all over the world. We don't know that. We don't know the situation on that yet.
Absolutely. If it proceeds, that's one of the things that you'll look at. Now, we used to see in countries like Dubai and states like Dubai and Saudi Arabia arresting people from foreign countries for social media. That's something we're used to. But are we now going to see France trying to extradite or issuing arrest warrants for the J.K. Rowling or other people for events that happened in for people that were in their country at the time, even though the people that allegedly made these offences weren't? I think it's a very, very slippery slope, and it could become quite a very significant case.
And it was also, I mean, the idea this would silence somebody like J.K. Rowling, who has become, this is almost a cause célèbre for her, this issue of women in sport and safe places for women. I'd have thought this will just fuel her campaign, David.
I mean, I think a lot of it is for publicity. And as a human rights lawyer, we, in the past, and this has always been against dictators, we've used countries like France and Germany, and we filed criminal complaints against various dictators for human rights abuses in those countries, but we knew at the time we were not going to get anywhere. But it was more for publicity, to to bring attention to the human rights abuses of various people. So we've done that, but this case is a little bit different because it's not against a dictator, it's not against a country. And I think if it proceeds, and that's a big if, it could have significant ramifications, like I said, for all those areas. But also, I think, whether or not there has been harassment, you will then have, if it proceeds, a debate on what is and isn't a man or a woman in the courts, if it proceeds. But I think a lot of it may be publicity.
David, that brought me to my next question. So if this case does proceed, will Imane Khelif have to prove once and for all whether she is biologically male or female? I'm using her preferred pronoun, as in she, at the moment.
Yeah, that could well happen, because it depends what the prosecutor proceeds with, if they do, and what they need to see as evidence. But if part of whether or not there has been harassment and abuse comes down to whether or not the boxer is a man or a woman, that's obviously evidence will need to be put forward on both sides of that. That's from cursory look at this and the comments of her lawyer, something that I think could happen, and obviously that would be very, very significant step.